Our partners at BetOnline continue to be your #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest odds, news, and sports developments, including this year's Wimbledon Finals, Major League Baseball, all the latest fighting news, and this season's NFL. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today. Receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BLEAV to get the bonus and get into action. BetOnline, where the game starts. Hello. It's Private Talk Podcast with Alexis, Texas, and we are back, and we have the pleasure today of having Mesa on the couch.
Thank you, guys.
People getting to know each other a little bit more. I'm intrigued by you. I feel like I've been researching you. I don't know much other than the research you have on Instagram, but you never know if it's really what is all for the Instagram and what is real and what is all about you. So I wanted to get to know you a little bit more. What would you say, or who are some of influences that you had in the music industry?
My favorite rapper of all time is definitely Tupac, hands down. I'm heavily influenced by him.
Okay, I like the Gemini status. We all love Geminis here at Private Talk. What would you say is something that is unique about you?
Definitely that I've created my own sound throughout the years. I've never tried to steer away from it, so I never try to adjust to the now. I kind of just create what's my own, you know what I mean?
So if somebody's never heard anything of yours, what is your unique sound? Can you describe it to Private Talk?
It's like, picture like a summer day.
Okay.
Picture like convertible.
Okay, top down.
Yeah, pretty girl, sitting passenger, silky shirt, short shorts, sandals.
Okay, you're visual. I like it. Okay.
Glasses, palm trees. That's the vibe. That's my vibe. So
when you go into your process of making a song and creating, and in different do you kind of envision the whole thing, like what you're kind of painting right now, as far as because obviously music videos and things go into afterwards, but is there a vision that you have for certain songs that you kind of paint a picture?
Depends. Certain songs come with the vision. It all depends what I'm going through at the moment and what I write about.
What do you say is your favorite song that you've released?
That I've ever made?
That you've ever made.
It's a tough question. I have so many.
But that's the thing, they're your babies. So I feel like certain people that have listened to your stuff that is more popular, those ones kind of hit. But is there something that kind of maybe you should tell Private Talk that they should go take a listen to now?
Definitely go listen to that new Rick Ross.
Well, that's one of those things. Is I think it's a great song. That is one of the songs that I heard, and it's really it's a banger. It's a catcher. It's it's one of those things that it keeps your attention.
Shout out to Rose. I got a new song featuring Rick Ross. It's called "Run It Up." We just released it on the DSPs about a week ago, and the video came out a couple months ago. So I was very excited about that because Ross is definitely a big artist. Big caliber artist for me to work with,
How is that to be by somebody who's so such a big star?
To be honest with you, it's a blessing to see somebody that big give the guys coming up an opportunity to work with them. I also carry myself in a very professional manner, and I always nobody has to hold my hand. I always do more than I'm asked for. So, and I work hard. So I feel like it's. When they look at me, they're like, man, this kid, he's working hard. I'm gonna give him a shot,
For sure.
Yeah.
It's hard work and dedication. I feel like it definitely with just beating people in general. I feel like East Coast people, they're just more of heart and soul. You just kind of you just know who you are.
Yeah.
It's kind of more something you just sit into it. It's
Yeah.
no need to be. So what kind of other art or what other artists would you like to collaborate with? You just had a big song with Rick Ross. Is there anybody else out there that maybe a top 2 that you would like to
I definitely want to work with the girls now. I feel like the girls have taken over the rap scene. And I would love to work with Lotto, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B. There's so many now, But yeah, I think the girls are running the game right now better than the guys, And I love it. I'm here for it.
Are you what female rapper are you that you put on repeat? What song are you listening to currently right now?
Female rapper. It's tough. I listen to Nicki. it just depends.
So Nicki or Cardi?
I like both of them.
Okay.
I like both of them.
Good answer.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
like
mean?
both of them.
I feel like people in this industry sometimes it's like you have to pick one. It's like why?
Nah, yeah, you definitely don't.
You know, classifications of not only genres of music, but people, you know, even being a rapper in that same field, everybody does their craft, you know.
I think they do it. I think it happens more within the hip hop culture than anything, because you don't see like Garth Brooks going at it with somebody else and being like, "Well, you or somebody else." It's not like, it's just the hip hop culture is so competitive that's the nature of it. But it don't really have to be that way.
Hip hop culture really navigates the world though, and like everything we do, from how people dress to what people want to look like and things like that. And so I feel like that is one of the top things that are, you know, in the limelight of what it is. And I feel like why it's so competitive. I feel like if people would stop making it such a competitive nature, more people in a sense wouldn't take it so like an ego thing. I feel like because when it comes like whose dick is bigger. No,
like I don't, you know, I see.
Like, everybody is great in their own way, you know, and
100%.
everyone should be their biggest fan. Everybody should, you know, love what they do because that's why we do it. So, you know, and so I feel like when people get so offended because someone says I'm the best or I'm the king of, like, it's like, why be so mad, you know? I
don't try to entertain that type of energy, but I get it. I mean, I don't understand it either. I try to change the culture within my team and the influences and the rappers I know. It's tough, you know. But it is what it is. It's the culture. It's what it is. It's very competitive. I was brought up in when I started rapping, I was a battle rapper in my neighborhood.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with being competitive. I just think as far as like, I feel like there should just be more room for everybody instead of it's like
and it
this
just
or the other.
It don't need to be,
you know, a blended thing.
Yeah, it don't need to be like, oh, yo, I'm better than you, or like, you know.
It's not just like you have to pick, like I say, like it can't be just Nicki or Cardi. Why can't I listen to one after the other? I like them both. I think they're both talented females. I think it's great to, you know, uplift people in their, and you know, what they do in their craft.
The female song I have been listening to the most, to answer your question, is that girl Glorita. She got the F and N song, but not that song. It's the song that she got with Cardi.
Yes, that's a good one. She just released her own as well, and there's some pretty big bangers.
Yeah,
on there too.
I was fucking with them. Like, this shit's hard.
And I do, like, you know, like you said, you know, you're somebody that you've been in the business for a while, but also in a sense in your own right, kind of newer to things, and having big stars like Rick Ross and people give you shine to put more light on who you are and your craft, I think is really cool that, you know, people see that and kind of give you your flowers, and that's in the right? Just like Cardi did with her, where it's like, you know, Cardi, you know, didn't have to do these things, whatever, but she's a badass chick.
Yeah, it's true. It's kind of the same thing.
You know?
Yeah, you're right. It is kind of the same thing. Yeah, I'm forever grateful for Ross, Jeter, and the whole MMG, and actually Adam from Hardin was the one who connected the dots with that.
Okay, so let's talk about that. You're a Hardin ambassador. How did that even come about? Is it just because you're an avid weed smoker? You're just that business savvy? How did that deal come into play?
Well, I came to Vegas one time. My buddy Chill was like, you know, I was like, I would do the tourist thing, which is would go to Planet 13. I didn't know any better at the time, and then when I landed one day, Chill was like, "Man, you gotta stop going to Planet 13. You gotta come to this place, Hardin." And me being stuck in my ways and being so loyal, I'm like, "Man, I'm not going nowhere but Planet 13." He said, "Nah, bro, you gotta come." So he kind of forced me to go, right? But when I got there, like I was greeted with such like warmth, and like it was such a welcoming, like they knew me.
Like a family. Like
yes, it's like they know me since like forever. And I'm like, yo, this is a vibe, right?
See, but that's, I feel like, and I don't even know where they're from, but the East Coast, we like that. It's like some long lost family member. You're like, come on in. Everybody's welcome. Everyone, come on out.
It was a vibe. So I walk up in there, you know, they're blessing me with weed. You know, they're taking me upstairs to the private lounge to hang out. I'm meeting the owner, and I'm just like, man, this is a vibe. So then I just start, you know, I follow them on Instagram. And I like the brand so much that I started branding them before I even had a contract with them.
So it came organically.
Yeah, I just was like, you know what? I fuck with this dispensary. I fuck with the brand and everything they're doing. I'm like, I'm going to brand them. I'm just going to brand them with whatever I'm doing. You know, I shot a video with Jadakiss. I took their duffel bag and I put it in the music video.
Dope.
And I think even before that, I started bringing other rappers through there. When everybody went to Vegas, I was just sending them there. And I was doing all that work really just without getting paid. But, you know, I kind of sometimes, you know, I tell everybody you can't do everything for money all the time. You know what I mean?
Because it pays off in other ways. I feel like, again, like, this is the mentality of like doing things because I feel like organically other things, better things come into light. Because
100%.
it's like, it's like when you kind of got to give back to get back.
100%. The more you give in this world, the better. That's how it works. That's how the universe works.
Blessings on blessings. I'm a big manifester. I'm a big like speaking things into existence
100%.
and like doing that stuff. That's why I feel like if you really, I never endorse things that I wouldn't fully support. That's just for a bag, because it's like everybody could do that, but it's like I want it to be the best. And if I'm endorsing it, like then it's you put your name behind it, and your name is everything.
100%.
That's what part of your branding is. Even if you're smoking weed, still with your
anything.
music game,
There's so many things that people do on the daily that they already do, and they don't notice that if they just brand it, they could monetize it and turn it into a stream of income.
So have you always been this business savvy, or is it?
I think throughout the years I became more as I got older, but I've always been independent, so, with the music, so I was forced to learn the ins and outs of how it works on my own, you know what I mean?
If you could have your ideal versus, who would it be?
Ideal versus?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I was side by side with Jadakiss and the Lox when they battled Dipset, and it was the
Definitely
craziest experience.
It was dope. It was fun just watching it. I wasn't there, but I'm like looking on Instagram
Alexis,
in my kitchen, and I'm like, ah!
And I said I don't want to brag about this, but like it was so legendary that I didn't know it was legendary.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
Like we were so caught up in the moment, and we didn't know that history was being made till after.
Yeah. But I think that's the great part of like being in the moment, not, you know what I mean? Not worrying about other stuff, but enjoying what it is. And then knowing that you're a part of that, it makes it even more euphoric.
I know. It was
damn,
crazy.
You're like, ah.
It don't really hit you. They say there's a quote, and then I always say it because of what happened at the Versus. They say that when you're making history, they say you never know when you're making history.
It's facts.
And it's true. We didn't know. Like we're so caught up. Like yo, you bad. Yo, I can't believe. Oh.
It was like
then
it brought you back to a time. You know what I mean? Where it's like
the next day we sign on to the internet and we're like, dude.
Because you were mad fucked up after that.
Did
so you didn't even look at the internet after.
No, we weren't. We were like, yo, like with Jada.
How drunk did you get that night?
Nah, I don't drink too much. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a big smoker.
How much did you smoke?
Oh, a lot.
You were.
I smoke a lot every day.
Cloud.
Mm-hmm. But Jadakiss was in the locker room. Like it was like we won
a championship.
Like we won a championship. He even remade the Kobe picture. He took the jacket over and he had the champagnes, and like we were so caught up in the moment, man. But it was legendary. So for me to say like what verses can I see after that? No, man, Madison Square Garden, Dipset, the Lox, it don't really get like,
Okay, well, take away the experience part. Who, music-wise, if you, like, who are two people that you think that, deserve them to go side by side?
I would love to see Jay-Z.
Okay.
Go against, like.
Who does Jay-Z go against?
Drake.
I don't know though. That would be a good one, but hard because it's like old head, young head, like.
But they both got extensive catalogs to go against each other.
That's why it makes it because it's all good music.
Who's gonna last throughout the verses longer?
Jay-Z is all. I'm a Jay-Z. I mean, I love Drake. Don't get me wrong, but Jay-Z is where it started.
I mean,
Jay-Z
look, listen,
like
to get through.
You can't say, like that's just like. Nah, like Jay-Z all day, but great battle. But he needs to be a little older. He needs to be a little older to ride that.
Look, just thinking about like as let's say if you're going against Jay-Z on a versus, just thinking about that you got to go against Reasonable Doubt as the first album. It's just it's
how
tough.
do you recover?
Yeah,
like what do you
tough.
do? But again, like obviously Drake's catalog is great. But
Drake's catalog is extensive.
Pieces where it's like. I don't know. It's the same thing as like Lil Wayne and Nas fans. You know what I mean? Like it's just there's like a deeper connection that people either get and like the surface level of what people are going through. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's a very big divide. It's a divide.
I know.
It's that's a good one though. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
But I like that. Who is your first celebrity crush?
First celebrity crush.
Is there someone that you maybe, the magazines back in the day?
I'm trying to think.
Either just a music video, anything. TV?
Like, I don't know. Like, I remember the era of girls like, you know, like the Stacey Dashes in the 90s, or like
Baddies.
Cindy Crawford, or like we was even talking about like Pamela Anderson in like the Baywatch days. Like, yo, she was like,
It was a thing.
yeah,
It was
like,
fire.
yo, that was a big thing. So
You
yeah,
were watching Baywatch on like.
I wasn't watching Baywatch, but those are the girls I remember. You know what I mean?
Okay, so was one that stuck out more than the other?
Not really.
Did
No.
you ever meet any of these, people that you saw, along and put like, the dots
I met
together?
you.
So that means you're a Alexis Texas fan.
Oh yeah, of course. Who doesn't know Alexis Texas?
I mean, there's one thing of knowing, and then there's knowing.
Yeah.
So when when Frenchie said that you're
As a matter of fact, I got a funny story for you.
Okay, let's hear it.
You ready?
I love funny stories.
I'm on South Beach. I'm a young buck around this time. I'm like
How old are you currently?
36.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're the same age.
Yeah. I'm like 22 at this time. We on South Beach. We chilling. There's a strip club still to this day. It's on Washington, right?
I already know what you're gonna say. Okay.
You know which one it is. You gotta know which one it is.
Well, because it looks like I own it.
It
but
has
it's
your
like-
picture up there.
It's fuck. It'll come to me because it's on the spot. But I know exactly what you're talking
All right.
about because they did ask me to use my image at the time, but I did not know that it would be for that many years.
No, at this point you need to.
And I
read
was on taxis. I was on like everything. At this point, it's changed over now. But
Yeah. You need to renegotiate the terms if you're still up there.
It's exactly. It's been. I mean,
And we need an advance on that. You guys made a lot of
better
money
go-
on that poster.
You better go handle your business. You better go get me my bag. The thing is yeah, that's a funny story. Okay, so you
Don't
see
tell me that. Next time, don't tell me that. I'll pull up. Next time we're in South Beach, I'll pull up the one and listen.
Hey,
It's got to
look.
come down, or
It's gonna be an issue, sir.
so.
Yes.
Back to the story. So
You're
I
on
go up in
Washington
there.
Street.
I'm on Washington Street. Me and my boys. I see the strip club. I'm like, what? Alexis Texas is in here?
Oh,
I'm
you
like,
thought
are
I
you
was-
kidding me?
You thought I was in there. I bet you that happens a lot to them.
It does. I mean, when you're not young and naive, it probably happens to a lot of people, right?
And you can't even drink in there. It's like
I was gonna get to that. So not only do I get bamboozled and I pay to get in there,
How
but
much
then
did
they
you
tell
pay?
me, I don't even remember at
it
the
was
time.
something astronomical. That was.
Then they tell me you can't drink here.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta. It's BYOB. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, you could bring beers. So my boy's like, yeah, I'm gonna go grab a 6-pack. I'm like, yo, where's the Alexis Texas? They're like, oh no, this is just the picture. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, yo, bro, get me the fuck out of here.
Madonna's.
Madonna's,
That's, what it's
that's the
called.
name
I
of
was
it.
like, I knew it was gonna come to me as soon as that happened, and it's funny because I never really thought that part would happen. I do have gotten several friends, like even like when the owner's from Starlets, he was like, girl, you know that your whole face is over here, you know they're using. I was like, I know. I was like, I was like, I know. I was like, thank you for telling me. I was like, I did. Again, this was
How long ago was this?
probably like 10 years ago at
Yo,
least.
it's a wrap. We gotta negotiate those terms. That's a
But
fact.
that was the thing. It was like some of them were taxis, which is just like 2 years ago stopped being them, and now I think it's booby trap or one of those whatever things, whatever. But
Booby Trap on the river? Yeah, those
yeah.
are my guys over there. It's a good time over there. I actually haven't been there in a long time. I kind of stopped going to Miami. I used to go to
are
Vegas
you
all
a
the time
strip
now.
club type of person?
I used to be.
So you have to like big asses if you're an Alexis Texas fan. So
Yeah.
did you leave immediately? Did you see any girls and you just
I left
you
immediately.
You were pissed.
Yeah, I left immediately.
So you're okay. So now you really.
I wasn't
want your money
pissed. I
back.
was just like, this is bullshit. Just
Well,
kept
it's I mean, in a sense, although it does not say I'm starring there, but it does look like I own the club. Maybe I should just go buy it from him and just be like, look,
Hey,
But the problem with that is that it had legal problems from a long time ago about a minor. Either I don't exactly know the situation, but their liquor license got taken away.
yeah, I don't know how they
So
stay
they've been
afloat.
in legal. They've been in legal like situations forever. It's because he owns like a lot of Florida, the owner of like
Okay.
that thing. So I think that he funds it maybe other ways. I don't really know what it's for, but I haven't been there in years. But my face is definitely still on it.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna.
Fun times. What is your dating life currently? You're working all the time with your music. You seem like you're a business entrepreneur. Do you have time for relationships?
I'm actually engaged.
Engaged. How long have you been together?
6 years.
Nice. How does she handle the fame?
Stuff
Okay.
on her. I try to make it as easy as possible.
I like that. I feel like as long as you have, you communicate, have boundaries, and you can live a true life.
It's still tough.
What makes you smile?
Waking up.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
What is your craziest fan interaction? Do you have any?
Craziest fan interaction would have to be when I met this fan in Vegas one time at a show. She was Mexican. I never looked at it this way, but she was like, "I love that you rap in English, but you don't try to sound like a Spanish West Coast rapper. You sound like an East Coast." And she's like, I couldn't tell if you were Spanish or black. You know what I mean? And she's like, she told me, she's like, "You're representing for la raza," and I was like, "Damn, that's deep." I'm like, I ain't know. Like, there was a market for me on the West Coast with that I haven't tapped in. So it kind of opened my eyes, and that was one of my craziest.
For a reason.
That was one of my craziest. I was bugged out. I'm like, because mind you, I'm from the East Coast. All we know is New York, Jersey, Connecticut, Long Island. We bounce around, and we stay in our own bubble. We almost think like we're the shit. Like we're the shit. We're like, we're the East Coast.
But I think it goes back again to like where you should feel that way. You
Nah,
know what I mean?
facts.
It's a craft of whatever, and like it's even an added bonus when you hear other things like that, or you get that love, that excitement that your music is really touching people in other ways of just your music.
Yeah, it means a lot to me.
It's like the sentimental of why you really sat down and did it.
Yeah, it means a lot to me. Now, as far as like crazy interaction with fans, I try to like I really try to like keep
a barrier.
Yeah, like I try to.
Is that because you're engaged?
No, just in general. Because with people, you just got to be careful. Just in general.
Okay.
Like you let somebody in that you just met an hour ago, they can destroy something you've been building 15, 20 years. You know what I mean? You just never know nowadays. You know what I mean?
I think always, but yes. I feel like nowadays it's just a lot more crazier. Things are happening in the world, but I think that's just how you're raised though too, of like how you move and like what you know and what you're not going to find
militant.
out. You know what I
Super
mean?
militant. Super militant.
Who do you go to advice for?
I don't have nobody like specifically.
Okay. Do you just keep a good circle around you that you discuss things, or
yeah,
do is it internal?
I got different people I call for different things. I called my cousin yesterday because I want to get a turkey done. He's a chef, and I wanted to pay him to make me a turkey for Thanksgiving. I call him for that. Or if I need financial advice, I talk to certain friends. It all depends. You know what I mean?
What would you say is the best advice you've ever gotten?
Best advice I ever gotten? There's a Spanish saying that the Cubans say all the time. In Spanish, it's called "El que no oye consejo no llega viejo," and it's the one who doesn't take advice won't make it to an older age. In Spanish, it sounds better. In English, it don't
translate the same.
Yeah, it don't translate the same.
So what does that mean to you?
Well, you gotta always be open to advice. You gotta not have an ego, and you gotta just be open to listen, because there's so many different perspectives and point of views. You know what I mean? You gotta be able to be open to see all of them, and then take whatever you think is good and run with it.
What are your top 3 rules that you live by?
Top 3 rules? I'm an old school guy, Okay. I'm like,
so what is that? Define what that means for private talk.
like loyalty. Like, if I got an enemy, he's your enemy.
Okay.
Like I don't like people that play two sides of the fence.
So that's one. Loyalty.
That's one. Don't lie.
Okay.
Just keep it real no matter how hard it is. And like always work hard. Like 150%.
All right. What would you say is your social media weakness? I know you obviously use it for promotional reasons, but is there something that you personally, if you have some free time, that you like more than the other? Man, social media nowadays is just out of control, man. Like, for men, I feel bad for men because, men just must be going through, like, it must be crazy mentally what men are going through nowadays. But explain what that means.
Well,
Why?
because you get on Instagram now, and the first thing you see is just ass all day long.
Okay.
before you even get to some type of good information.
But isn't that based off of what you're following
It is.
and your algorithm?
But it's
So
it's
who?
the industry. It's the industry that I'm in. You know what I mean? So, like, what do you do when it's just in your face all the time? You gotta follow certain people.
What do you do?
Well, you know, you just gotta be strong.
How many OnlyFans memberships do you have?
0.
You're not an Alexis Texas OnlyFans member? I'm shocked.
Nah, I'm not.
Rude. You're not supporting? Thought we were friends.
We're gonna make money other ways.
You're gonna go get the bag at Madonna's. That's what
Well,
you're gonna do?
we're gonna make a couple bags. You know.
I like your positivity, and I like that your ambition. I think that I feel like you seem very business minded, and you know what you're talking about, or you stand to what you believe in. You know. So I feel like that some people like try to fake and think like, oh, I know everything, which is never a good quality to have because there's always room for growth. There's always room for learning.
A man who thinks he knows everything knows nothing.
Facts. Let's see what Miss Texas wants to ask you. What's
Here
the
we
best
go.
pickup line that you have ever used? Do you?
I got a couple.
Okay, let's hear your pickup lines, Mesa.
I tell 'em, you want to touch this? Touch my jacket. What material is this made of?
I don't know.
Hubby material.
Is that how you got your fiance?
I like to keep the jokes a little corny. I like to make them laugh. You know.
Okay.
I think that's what life is all about. I think
So what's the other one? That was one.
Um,
How many times have you used that? Is that the one?
Yo,
Is that your go-to though?
Nah, I'ma be honest with you.
Because honestly, that one wasn't that great. It was
It's not.
cute,
It's
but
cute.
but you know what I mean. I was expecting more from you, Mesa.
on a scale from 1 to 10, you're a 9, and I'm the one you need.
That one's better. I like that.
I got a couple. You
All
know
right,
what I mean?
third.
But I don't use them like that. Like they don't just come out.
Yeah, but you also know which one. Like you're like, oh, that bitch needs this one. This girl needs this one. Because you know
Yo.
it's different types of girls. Like it's the same thing if you like Casamigos or Don Julio. You just know how you're gonna talk to somebody. It's just a little different. The same way I know with the dude how he's dressed or what it is, what he needs, and what I'm gonna tell him and spit in his ear. It's just what it is.
And then let's say if it's like a sexy vibe, I'll tell the girl, I'm like, yo, I'll be like,
Look, now I gotta talk mean to you, look, to get it out of you.
nah.
Look, I see what type of dude you are. You like that? You want to be an
Nah,
alpha with you?
nah.
You want me to tell you what that sexy moment is?
I was gonna save it for the third one. You know,
All
I
right,
can't give it to you.
The lead up.
Yeah.
Tell Miss Texas to sexy vibe one. What happened?
The sexy vibe one would be I heard your grades ain't good, girl. This D won't hurt.
Did you use this in high school?
Nah, I didn't
You're
use
too old to be saying that now. What?
I haven't said it in a while, but I'm just saying, like, I remember saying that in one of my songs. You know what I mean? I heard.
Okay.
What was it, Ricky? I heard your grades ain't good, girl. This D won't hurt.
Okay. Lyrically, that's great. The sexy time, the sexy vibes get a little.
Sexy time. I just, I talk nasty. You know
talk
what I mean?
nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, nasty talker. We'll see how nasty you are in this Truth with Texas. That's
Relax.
a little bit later. This is the warm up before the tutorial. Have you ever gone through your partner's phone? Are you that
When
type
I
of
was
guy?
younger.
Okay.
Yeah. Now never really
Never?
no at all. I could care
What
less.
is your get you in the mood playlist? If you want sexy time with your fiance, is there a playlist or a type of, do you play your own
She
music?
loves 90s R&B.
Okay.
She loves
I
that.
ain't mad at that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever fuck to your own music?
Depends on the song. Yeah, I have though.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you carry around condoms prior to your fiance?
Oh yeah. I mean, I have one child.
Okay.
And it's with her. I never got no other woman pregnant in my life.
Okay, so you were always strapped and ready to go.
100%.
Have you ever sent a nude to the wrong person?
Never.
Have you ever sent a nude?
Dick pic.
Dick pic?
Yeah.
Is it incriminating? Is your face in it? Or is it just
Never
like so you can
incriminating.
see?
No face, no case.
No face, no case. Favorite way to receive affection? What is your love language?
Food.
Food?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So acts of service.
It's funny you say that. She says she calls it the same thing.
Well, because it's your love language. It's either like, there's other one, but that's like you like when
It's
she
funny
does.
when she watches it, she's gonna be like, "Oh, see, I told you."
Women know things, it's
Yeah.
intuition. But you like her to like.
I mean, I feel like guys in general. I mean, you gotta understand. I was raised all women.
Okay.
I was raised to sit down at the table. Everything was served for me. Like I was just raised a certain way,
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, I know.
I feel like sometimes people think because it's an old school thing, like, oh, that's like something that I think that most people don't talk or think that happens anymore. But I think it needs to be communicated more, is because if that's what you were raised with and that's what you need from a partner, then that's valid.
Well, I feel like not even like.
But when people don't speak about that, that's what they expect from their partner. That's when it comes into like a different situation where it's like, you know what I mean? How do you give and receive things if you're not asking for or telling you what you need?
Yeah. Communication is definitely very important. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's just like I feel like as men got to carry themselves as like young kings. You know what I mean? So it's like you're a king, you carry yourself that way, and it's like certain. It's nothing like. I feel like women nowadays they'll look at it like, oh, I you know, I'm not gonna cook for no man, but you know, like I go above and beyond for mine. You know, like I'm the chef in my house, so you know, I cook for my wife. You know, I cook for my son.
I think that the narrative behind that, I don't think that you're wrong, but I think that it's an over embellished thing where I feel like. I think in partnership and having those kind of qualities of doing those acts of service comes with the safety of your relationship and not just a booty call and then like they're just whatever, you know what I mean, in those situations where I feel like when people or women are like, oh, I'm not going to cook for you. Okay, but are you in a relationship or are you in a situationship? So I think it's like when you pass that and there's no gray area and it's black and white of what it is and you're giving and doing whatever it is, your partner is going to want to please you
100%.
in whatever way that you need to be pleased. If that's making sure your meal at whatever time is needed or whatever you know, whatever the love language is.
Yeah, because when you treat your woman like a queen, she's going to do them things automatically.
But that comes in a safe space of what you have built together.
Exactly.
Where I think the embellishment of like, oh, all women don't think this. No, but I also am not going to give anything to some fuckboy who thinks that they can just come over and get whenever they please.
And there's a lot.
We're not in a relationship, you know what I mean? So I think that's more.
There's a lot of fuckboys right now too. That's the thing
but
too.
But I think it's the time that we're in of like how you said and the whole thing of like when you open your Instagram, there's so much ass. And even for me coming from my background of adult entertainment, I agree with you that there's so much access to everything. There's an excess of
overload.
It's an overload of like, so it's easy to swipe. It's easy to, you know, go to like filter people really quickly without dealing with like your internal issues if you want a relationship and the honesty of what that means, you know what I mean? And they think that's the problem with now is that you don't like something, fine, fuck you, there's somebody else.
That's the problem.
You know, there's Tinder, there's Bumble, there's all these other things, you know what I mean? And people forget that you can go meet someone at a restaurant or a bar or in a social setting, and I think that it's kind of shied away from that. So it's created this fuckboy like era. And fuck girls too, to be honest.
Yeah,
it goes
equal.
Both ways.
It's
you know,
equal.
It's the same thing if someone who just wants a meal, you know what I mean? Like, stay home, bitch. Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those things. The same thing with a dude. Be honest. If you want to fuck the girl, fuck the girl. Don't say that you want a relationship and all these other things. I think that, you know, honesty and why I love my podcast is it's about communication. You know, it doesn't matter what field we're in or whatever. It's like we can have a common conversation and just about equality of people, relationships, like lifestyle type of situations that people need to know. Like, you know, you come from, where I come from, and how that blends and how you can have a conversation, even if I agree with you or
and still respect each other's views.
You know, and that's the problem. It's like it becomes so like off, you know, the top where you don't like something, well, bye. Well, okay, well, why can't you talk about it? And not in a derogatory way, but in a conversational situation. I think it gives growth and listening to your fans and stuff like that. Some people don't ask you the type of questions I've asked, you know, and so it's like opening and seeing the full you and getting to know those inner things that maybe your fiance is the only one who gets to know. You know, vulnerability I think is really key and a big part and component of my growth of who I am and like where I am overall in my brand. And I think that more people need to, you know, tap into that.
I think people educating themselves on learning how to communicate and understanding how to maneuver through emotions. You know, sitting down with a therapist and going to see a psychologist helped me out a lot too, because you know there's things that are embedded in you that you pick up unknowingly. How
did you get to that route? Did you have something happen that made you force you to go to counseling, or you just?
Well, I needed to change because I became a father, so I couldn't. I needed to grow.
You wanted something better for him.
Yeah, I mean, I needed to better myself so I can provide a better future for him, you know?
For sure. And
communication is key, and learning how to not take things personal, and it's a hard balance, and a lot of people are missing that today because they're just not. I was missing it. until I educated myself on it, and I saw that I was doing things that were like embedded in me since I was young. Like I said, unknowingly.
Generational.
Yeah, and it's kind of I had to go back and rewire.
It's, it's because we're all programmed, we're not, nobody's perfect. There's not a manual how to parent, there's whatever, but everyone's right and wrong is different. And I think it's important for adults, regardless of what happened to us or, individually, to finding a space where you can rewire yourself to your own program that works for you and your family.
100%.
So I congratulate you. That I feel like there more people need to, take those steps to kind of
100%.
Better
I think
themselves.
everybody
I think
needs to take those
steps. It's not talked about enough. Where it's like people think it's like bad or it's taboo. It's like, why does it need to be bad? Because you have someone who's not in your circle, who has a non-biased situation, attachment to it, giving you proper advice of how to delegate your emotions and knowing that that's a safe space as well.
Yeah, it'll help you in your daily life. It'll help you even when you're having business conversations. Sometimes business conversations, when you talk numbers, they get a little hectic, Even in business, it'll help you because you'll know how to speak to somebody. When somebody's throwing something negative at you,
You gotta
how to maneuver.
self-regulate.
Yeah.
If you could change jobs, would you? And if so, what would it be?
I always said if I wasn't a rapper, I would want to be like a Navy SEAL.
Okay. Why a Navy SEAL? What fascinates you about a Navy SEAL?
I love the idea of going on a mission.
Okay.
I love the idea of like just being like, yo, you're a special operations team. You guys got exclusive information. You guys are gonna go do certain things.
Okay.
And I just love I love that,
Okay.
I love
Do
the
you watch
clearance.
those types of movies?
Yeah, I do.
All the time.
Not all the time, but I always say that. That's something I've always said. I almost went to the military too. At a very young age, I was gonna go to the Army.
What stopped you?
It's paperwork. I had a lot of problem in the streets, warrants. I had I was doing so bad outside in my neighborhood that I was just like, yo, let me just fucking get myself in the military because it was the kind of like the only saving I really had. You know what I mean? But it didn't work out though.
Everything works out for a reason. Is there anything you regret saying no to?
Maybe regret not going to my to the Yankee game with my buddy, because that was the last time I got to see him. Shit like that,
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Are you a Yankee or a Mets fan?
You know the answer to that.
I'm going to assume you're a Yankees fan because you said the Yankees game. I'm a Yankee fan myself. I used to be a big Derek Jeter fan. I used
You're
to
from
have
Texas.
him.
You're a Rangers fan.
Yeah, but no. First of all, my family's from the Bronx.
Okay, educate me because I don't know.
I'm a military brat.
Okay.
So they're from both my parents are from New York. And so, yeah, Boogie Down Bronx. Know about it. But yeah, I spent my summers there. I spent a month there in New York. So I always had a special place in New York to this day. I mean,
There's nothing like.
No, and that's the thing is being from Texas, but I was born in Panama. And then when I was 3, we moved to Texas. So Texas is the only thing I ever really known.
What part of Texas?
San Antonio area, a small town
I got family in
outside
Texas.
San Antonio, very small. But yeah, so it was very different. But I always felt like I didn't belong. Like I always knew there was more out there. That's why I appreciated my parents for allowing me to go spend summers in New York and see other things and just not Texas. I have a special place for Texas because it raised me and molded who I was and gave me the innocence that needed to keep me there for as long as it could. So I feel like that. But as far as the East Coast was always more to my soul, more how I operated, how I was raised, how I was programmed to kind of move. And so, yeah, New York is always kind of a
But now you're in
special
LA, so you kind of you're a West Coast girl now.
I don't really know what I identify as. I feel like I've definitely been in LA my whole adult life, since I was 21 and I got into the business. I'm 37 now. And I love LA too.
I thought you were 24, 25.
You wish. I'm like, fine, why not get better with time? Come on now. You said that you're a fan. Let's not get it twisted. Don't gas me up. Now look.
Gaslighting you?
You are, for sure. I mean, you were trying to gas me up. I don't think you were gaslighting, but there is a difference. But I know how you talk to girls. Have you ever been kicked out of a place?
Got kicked out of school.
What'd you do?
Doing a whole bunch of things.
What was the final straw that got you kicked out of school?
I was going to school living out of district.
Okay. You got caught trying to go to a good school.
Nah, I just got caught, by walking to school from like 3 towns over. They already had tried to kick me out a million times before that, but now they finally had some solid evidence.
That wasn't really anything that bad. You had been doing some stuff that was like on their radar, because that seems like the official reason. But
We was doing a lot of stuff growing up, that we shouldn't be doing. But I think every kid without guidance goes through that in an urban neighborhood.
So if you could give your younger self advice, what would you give yourself at this current
I
moment?
would stack my money and have my credit score like at an 830 at by like 22, 23.
Okay. Good advice.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. See, that wasn't that bad. Are you ready for Truth with Texas? Are you warmed up for the harder questions?
Nothing in life is that hard.
I like your attitude. All right, my favorite part of the show is Truth with Texas. We're going to play a little game, and there's 4 aces. Each ace suit is a different type of question: sexy or romantic, spicy, naughty, and kinky. We're going to go through all of them and get to know you a little bit more intimately.
Let's
all right,
go.
here you go.
Pick one.
Yes, sir. Ace of
Diamond.
spicy question.
Here we go.
What is your worst hookup story?
Worst hookup story?
Yes. They can't all be great.
Let me think.
Do I need to give you a button?
Yo, I really can't remember. I won't be honest with you, man.
Nothing is in the sticks out of your mind?
Not really, man.
No? Most embarrassing thing that's happened to you?
Like when?
Sexually.
Sexually?
Yeah.
Okay, when I was like...
This is Truth with Texas. Don't lie to
I
Miss
got you.
Texas.
I'll never forget this. I was 18 years old.
Okay.
All right?
Set the tone.
Miami. South Beach. Bringing the heat.
Okay,
right?
okay.
I think I was at Mango's.
Oh, mangoes.
All right?
Been there.
It was popping. I leave with this chick. She was older. So I'm stunned that I'm...
How much older?
I think she was like 30-something.
How old were you at the time? 20?
18.
Oh, 18, my bad.
I was a
forgot the
baby.
beginning. Okay.
That ass a baby.
So how are you in Mango's drink? Oh, you had a big X on your arm? Your hand?
Nah, listen. My cousin was security at Mango's. He worked there for a lot of
I was
years.
going to say, because it'd be foul if she's 37,
Nah,
you got big X's. And she's
Nah,
like,
listen.
Come here, little boy.
My aunt, and then I've always had a beard. I've always had a beard. I always look older than I did because I've always would go to the liquor store and get the liquor for everybody in my neighborhood because I always looked older.
Okay.
I don't even know how I pulled that off at 16 years old, but I did.
It was confident. Sometimes if you just go up there and act like you know it, no
Yeah,
one's
that's
going to question you.
That's what I was doing. So where was I at? Because you lost me. What was the last thing I just
You
said?
were in Mango's because your cousin
Mango's,
was
boom.
the security.
Leave with the girl, right?
37.
She's an older chick. She was fly, bro. Now, mind you, I don't even have money at this time. I'm just
She doesn't care. She's a
I'm just
horny.
I'm just like a chamak running the streets, right? Long story short, bro. Like, yo, we end up having doing the thing, right? Bro, I lasted like
5
no
seconds.
lie, bro.
5 seconds.
Bro, like not even a minute, bro. Then what's even? You want to know even what's even worse than that?
Please tell us.
I fell asleep right after.
You're one of those?
Nah, I'm not one of those anymore. I was a young little baby cub in the wilderness.
Isn't that when you're supposed to be in your crime? I mean, your prime. Like, you
Nah.
can talk. I'm so flabbergasted.
I'm gonna be honest with you. My sex drive now is crazy.
Like, I got into
But I take
porn
care of
because-
myself. I take care of my body. I take care of what I eat. I eat certain things. You know, I fast a lot.
So that has something to do with you being able to
100%.
last.
100%.
I mean, I don't have a dick, obviously, so I don't really know how that works.
100%.
But I mean, I guess the more healthy you are for me, I mean, I've always had a healthy sex drive. I can't really say that, but yeah, I don't know. Can't complain. I can't compare. Okay. So were you always into cougars, or was that just a one night thing and you're like, oh, I'm never going back again? Were you scarred?
But I remember having a cougar with a motorcycle in Kendall. She was 42, and I was like 21.
Were you a sugar baby? Did these old ladies take care of you?
Nah, not really.
You just gave them the pipe,
Nah, because I always been a
piping
hustler.
it down.
Yeah, I was just a young, little young kid from the East Coast.
Hey, I was young and I got into porn. I'm 21. I was ready to go.
Alexis,
I accidentally
Texas.
got into porn. It just happened. It found me. Have you? What's the
I think-
craziest place you've ever had sex?
I'm glad it found. I think, on behalf of all the men around the world, we're glad.
Slow clap. Thank you, Miss Texas, for your service. You like how I said the third person. You know, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Much love. Craziest place you had sex?
With my fiance in a shack in Mexico.
Hot.
In a shack, like it was nighttime. We was walking on the beach. We see this shack that has like surfboards in it. We opened it.
And just fucked.
Mexico.
Nobody said nothing.
Yeah, we got a challenge. Like we've had sex in like multiple oceans
Okay.
throughout, like, Turks and Caicos, the Bahamas.
I like that for relationship goals.
Yeah.
I had somebody on my show yesterday, and she was saying that she seeks out caves because she likes her men would like be hikers, but she didn't hike, but she'd like to fuck in caves. So she
Oh my
would
God.
find these hikes that had caves, and she'd fuck in them. And I was like, I mean, I've never heard of this. Is probably a fetish, but
Yeah.
I like that.
That sounds like a fetish, yeah.
I mean, if that's you are saying yours is a fetish, or even ocean fetish, apparently you want to.
I mean, I just think I feel like it's cool to say like, yo, we fucked in the Atlantic Ocean, we fucked in the Pacific
But
Ocean.
some people don't like fucking in like water like that. It's not always that fun. It's fun for like a second, but it's not.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
I'm
it's
not
not-
gonna finish and come in the ocean.
I be nutting in the ocean. I'm not gonna front.
For a guy, yeah, but a
Yeah.
girl, it's like it's not the same. I mean, it's more sexy because it's like out in the open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the exhibitionist part of it. Have you ever broken up with someone because they were bad in bed?
No, not really. No.
No?
No.
Can you give me an example of dirty talk?
Dirty talk. I mean, yo, damn, I gotta put my fiance's business out there.
What do
but
you tell your fiance?
I tell her crazy shit.
Can you want to hear like a little sample?
I be saying shit like.
Just say her name before it, and then it'll be good. This is for you.
Nah, she knows it's for her. I be saying crazy shit. Like, I'll be like, yo, let me see.
Example, come on.
I'm coming.
You
let
can
me
do
see.
it.
I'll be like, I'm like, yeah, that's how you like daddy to fuck the shit out of you. Like, I be talking crazy. Like,
Mad crazy.
and I be feeling like it's crazy because when I talk to her like that, like her pussy talks back to me. Like
She's wet.
you feel like I hear it. I'm like,
She
damn.
likes it.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone likes a good dirty
Mm-hmm.
talk. Do you guys watch porn together?
Nah.
No? Have you ever watched porn with her or a partner?
In Turks and Caicos.
Okay. Do you have a celebrity hall pass?
Who do I say that I tell all the time? I think I tell her Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian's your hall pass?
Yeah, I feel like if it's gonna be a hall pass, it's gonna be Kim.
Okay, Kim K. Last question for the spicy questions. Have you ever been thrown up on during sex?
Negative.
Negative. Always clean, always ready to go.
100%.
No choking statuses.
Bro, let me tell you, I got a story with one girl that's crazy.
Can I hear it?
Yeah, 100%.
Let's
This
hear
girl
it.
used to like for me to slap her, and I was very uncomfortable because, I first of all, I've never hit a woman in my life.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But there's a difference from while
I
you're doing
I
it.
get it. I know.
Even slapping ass, there's a technique.
Yeah. So, yo, it was so crazy. Like, this girl, would.
And if you don't know how to do it, dangerous.
No, she would tell me like, "Yo, slap me,"
Okay.
and I'll be like,
Yeah, but you have to know how to slap properly.
and I'll be like, "She's harder." And it's to the point that it was so hard that I'm like, "Yo, I gotta record this, cause I gotta show this to my boys, bro, cause they gotta see this, cause this is crazy to me."
Okay.
So I recorded it.
But wait, was she like on her knees sucking your dick and you're slapping her, or she
No,
was fucking
like-
and you were slapping her? Because what is she doing that
No,
you're just
fucking
slapping her?
like she was on top of a counter.
Okay. That's hard. I mean, and you were just missionary?
Like
Or
kind
she's
of.
bent, well, I mean, if you were
Nah,
slapping
she's
her,
like
she
facing
did
me,
it. And
but
then
like
you're
not a
"Hey,
counter,
babe."
but like it was actually like a freezer.
Okay. All right, so you recorded it and she was for it.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Bro, honestly,
Was it too weird for you?
it started to bug me out. I'm like, yo, bro.
I'm like, where's the story going?
It started to bug me out. I'm like, yo, I don't know about slapping you though. Like, her face would be red. I'm like, yo, my friends would be looking at the video, dying, laughing. I'm
So
like,
did
yo,
you just stop?
yeah, I stopped there.
You didn't finish. You
Nah, I
had
just
to.
stopped. I just stopped fucking with her in general. Yeah,
You didn't repeat offend.
yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, I feel like, that was one of the questions has someone been too freaky for you? That's a too freaky for you
Yeah,
moment.
that was definitely it. I was like, yo, listen,
We gotta have a talk
we're not
about
gonna
this.
turn this into a domestic SOB.
All right, next card.
Wait, have you guys slapped before?
No, I'm not into that.
Yeah, good,
I'm not
good.
into
Respect
I'm not
this,
into like physical harm. I'm not really my thing. Me, my ass slapped, yeah, but only if a dick's inside of me. I'm not really like. And some people don't know how to slap, but it's a whole other story. Ace of spades. Okay, naughty question. This is my favorite. Handcuffs or blindfold? Have you done either?
I haven't done neither of those actually, but I would
Okay,
probably
you had
choose
cuffs.
blindfold.
Blindfold.
I hate cuffs.
Choked or spanked?
Choked?
Ever had a threesome?
Yes.
Lube or spit?
Depends on the night.
Depends on how many blunts you smoke.
Depends on the night.
Have you ever made a sex tape?
Yeah, of course. Not a sex tape, but I mean, record.
On your phone, you've recorded. What kind of outfits, if any, turn you on? Do you like your woman to dress up for you in lingerie?
Yeah, I like lingerie. I love lingerie.
So describe like a sexy night for you.
Lingerie. What come
But
in
are
the
you
house?
are you going to like provide the lingerie for your lady? Or do you want her to be dressed up? What do you want her?
I like the element of surprise. I don't feel like I kind of don't like having to like. I do it. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I'll be like, yo, throw this song or whatever. But I like the element of surprise. Like I only think it happens sometimes on Father's Day. That always happens on Father's Day. Like I'll just randomly step outside the house, go get like something that I need, and when I come back, she's in high heels and lingerie, and ordered like Roof Chris.
Nice. I mean, now we're just telling her another, like we're manifesting that she's gonna do it maybe one more time between then. And you know what I mean? What's your biggest turn off? What is something that a woman can just, maybe past, present?
Hygiene.
Hygiene? Good one. Have you ever faked an orgasm?
I have, yeah.
What was the reasoning of this? I feel like I just found out that men did this.
You get
not that
tired.
long
You get
ago.
tired, and you're just like, yo, bro, it's like, I'm done. Yeah, I said I came already. Boom.
But why do
But
you
I haven't
just,
done
but
that in a
why
long
do you
time.
just say that, hey,
Because
like,
girls are sensitive. They take that stuff personal. Especially once you start like coming inside of a girl, that's it. I feel like I always say like a woman's brain, when she first meets a man and she's attracted to him, she puts up this fight, this wall, she's strong. The minute you have sex with her, it kind of scrambles her brain a little bit. The minute you start coming inside of her, that's it. It's over.
Yes, to certain
over.
degrees, but I feel like it's levels of what's behind you coming inside of her, and what are you telling her behind? Are you pillow talking and telling the truth? Are you not? There's a lot. Are you gaslighting? We use this word
It
earlier.
doesn't matter. I feel like those things don't matter. I feel like once you take it to that, that's a real personal thing for a woman, and it's just like.
But I don't even if you back it up, I don't even think. I think just fucking in general, and like having a, if it's a something that's not a one-time thing, is emotional for anybody. I think that people forget that, yes, sex can be sex, but most people that are not in porn or not fucking for just pleasure like that, like you're doing it because they want a connection. They want, something that, so therefore that comes with the, like, I feel like, people really can't be booty calls. Like, it always comes with more.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a crazy fan story where you've actually slept with the fan and they wanted more?
Not really, no.
No.
I try to keep my distance.
Have you ever fucked a fan?
No, not really.
Not knowingly?
I never really, like, I always dealt with the same girls.
Okay.
I was never really like type of guy to be with, like, man, like, just, I was always on the grind, you know what I mean? So, like, same girls I know my whole life, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So
it was like your roster. You just kind of like repeated it.
yeah, even my fiance, we dated in high school.
Okay.
We know we from the same neighborhood.
All right. Role playing. Do you like it?
Hell yeah.
What's your favorite kind of?
Sometimes I try to play like I'm her boss at work, or like I know there's this gym teacher she works with, and I be fucking with her. I'm like, oh, did you see Coach today? And she like, I be fucking with her. She's like, stop, babe.
And she loves it.
Hey, she laughs. I just fuck with her. You
So
gotta keep it spicy.
does it actually turn you on, or do you do it because you just like to be funny?
Honestly, I like the idea of another guy wanting my girl, and then me having to be like an alpha, like, nah, that's my girl. So.
Do you want her to flirt back a little?
Nah.
Nothing disrespectful,
Nah, I mean she's in general she's a flirt, Like and I know when I'm not around, she's even more of a flirt, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But she's a very respectful girl, you know what I mean? That's just her nature. She's nice like that.
Mile High Club, yes or no?
Not yet.
Not yet. I like that. Open-ended. Have you ever had sex with someone in the room?
No. No.
Well, you had a threesome, so technically.
With someone in this room?
No, like someone in the room, just in general. Like if you're having sex and maybe somebody's in the other room fucking other people.
Oh my God! I'm like, I was started looking around. I was so confused by the question. I was like, I looked around. I was like,
what kind of weed are you smoking over there at Jardine? What is this?
Shout out to Jardine.
That's funny.
No,
like
yeah, I mean, yo, we guys, guys, like, when you're brothers, you grow up together, like, and you're young, you see your guys, your fucking friends' dick all the time. You know what I mean? Like, you go on vacation with your friends, when you were younger.
So it doesn't faze you.
Nah.
So definitely fuck somebody when somebody's in the room.
Well, when I was younger, I don't know about now.
Okay. All right. Fair. Next card.
Ace of Hearts.
Romantic. Would you consider yourself a romantic, or would your fiance consider you a romantic?
I think so. I think so.
What's the most romantic thing you've done for her? Is that putting you on the spot?
No, that's not at all. Not at all. I stay up to date with that type of stuff.
Nice.
I don't know, man. I just do a lot all around. It's just not. I cater to her every day. You know what I mean?
So what is her? Well, let's back up. We know yours is like acts of service. What is her love language? How does she like to receive love?
Spend time.
Okay, quality time.
Yeah, no phones. The phone is like a big.
Because even something like that, I think, is romantic if that's how you receive love. It's like for what you put in the effort, knowing that you're busy and doing whatever, and like kind of just tuning everybody out. I feel like that could be something that's romantic. It just depends on your partner.
Yeah.
Sex on the first date.
Depends, man.
Giving or receiving?
What
kind of partner are you? What's going down first?
I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go down and do what I do first. You
Okay,
know what
so
I mean?
you're giving. You're a giving partner. Lights on or lights off?
Bedroom light off, but maybe another light in the distance on, so I can still see kind of like a silhouette.
What are deal breakers for you in a relationship?
In relationships, man, definitely don't want a girl that none of my friends had.
Okay.
So.
No homie hopping. Doesn't matter about her body count.
Nowadays, you can't really like you know. Maybe back in the day, everything was more enclosed, but nowadays you can't really. How are guys holding women accountable for body counts when they got like 150 bodies? Like, and guys start at an early age. You get me?
I mean, I feel like there's a double standard for everything. I mean, if you ask me, I have a lot of information to say about it because I've been called a lot of things, but that doesn't faze me either way. And my body count is, it's there because I've been in porn for 15 years. But also in the same time, it's always the same type of person or, plethora of people. So that's really not that much. But how many times? It's a lot. But I feel like it's all about, where you are now. I feel like it's about...
If I want to say nowadays, because I don't want to, like, misguide, like, anybody watching and saying, like, yo, or guys. Because, you can meet a good girl that just... it is what it is.
Well, I think it was just like somebody recently said it was like, oh, I don't want her, my female or my chick to have too many bodies or whatever. But it's like at that point too, like if you have a connection and you're in love with that person, does it really matter?
I don't think so.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe I'm biased. Who knows?
I don't think so.
What is your favorite part of body on the opposite sex? Big booties. You like curves or just the ass?
Yeah, I like a fat ass.
Okay. Dinner date or movie date?
I do both on the same night.
If you had to pick one or the other, which would you pick?
Definitely movies.
Movies? What's your favorite movie?
Rocky.
Rocky. Okay. Is there a number of a Rocky or just Rocky in general?
Oh, I feel like people always say part 4, but if you want to like judge it by like the raw acting of it, part 1.
The one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, last question is the kinky questions. Let's see. What's the most number of times you've had sex in a day?
7.
7?
Yeah.
What is a sex skill that you are most proud of?
The way I eat pussy.
Okay. Have you ever woken up to someone that you did not know their name?
No.
Do you have any fetishes?
Not really.
Not into feet, not into maybe ass fetish? No? You just like it all the way around?
Yeah.
All right, last question. Let's see. Where is somewhere that you have always wanted to have sex? You have, these oceans that you've kind of blurred out, but it's Bora Bora? Okay, just anywhere in Bora Bora.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Doesn't matter.
At that point, right? Like, the French Polynesian.
This is your fantasy, not mine. Okay. Well, that is the end of Truth with Texas. I appreciate you getting a little bit more candid, letting your fans know you a little bit more, letting your fiance hear some things that, maybe she's going to take some note. Maybe she'll dress up for you. And Miss Texas will be endorsing this. So you have all the fun that you can. Is there anything you'd like to ask Miss Texas before you leave?
How is your how do you feel about your transition from doing porn to now hosting your own podcast and building this brand? How's that transition for you?
How is the transition for me? I think everything is a challenge in the beginning. I've been doing this for this, this is season 4. I've been doing it for which technically means almost like 3 years, 4 years. It's for me, this is a passion. I love doing it. I love talking to people. I love connecting with people because it's like as much as we're in an industry, we're in entertainment, sometimes we just entertain our own crowd and fans that sometimes we don't always get to intermingle and get to know other creators and people. So I feel like it's been a really great time for me to really sit down to see people that I may have not known, kind of known or seen in the scene a little bit, but got to know a little bit more from a conversation instead of just like passing by and having a shot and nobody really knows, you know what I mean? It's really surface. So I've loved it. I've enjoyed it. I feel like for me is that I've been in the adult entertainment business for 15 years, but porn doesn't define me. It's only a part of what I liked and how I expressed my sexuality. And it's also allowed me to create and have a fan base that has allowed me to do other things and other tiers to create and continue my legacy. So I'm definitely fortunate to have a lot of gratitude for my fans that watch this and have supported me through everything I've done, and having new friends and having your fan base support the show as well. And
yeah, you gotta I mean, people love you. That's gonna be for life.
Yes, I feel like it's only the next thing that was right.
Yeah.
Wow. I have a lot of fun.
Well, I'm happy for you. I'm happy that you had me on the show, and I look forward to continue to bring the brand awareness for your podcast. I look forward to linking up with Hardin for AVN in January, and
Of course. I appreciate you taking the time. I thank you for being so, open. Some people sometimes have a little issue about being open, but I think that it's the more, again, vulnerable conversations that we can have.
I mean, it's
it
a
is
private talk with Alexis, Texas. Like, what kind of conversation
You
do
never
you
know what
expect?
you're gonna get here at Private Talk.
I
But,
mean, I think you do know, but you just gotta be ready.
Everybody's limit, and your limit went a little further, so I appreciate it. Because some people, I'm like, oh yeah, they're sweating over there, but no,
Nah.
you held your own, and I appreciate you. Where can we follow and support you?
You can follow me on Instagram at Mr. 100 Summers. Follow me, same thing for Twitter. And yeah, I'm active, man. Anything you need, just DM me.
All right, you heard it, Private Talk. I hope that you loved this episode. I know I enjoyed getting to know him a little bit better. And make sure you go and follow him and support. And until next time. This episode is sponsored by Bet Online.